What up, y'all? Welcome back to Legal Opinions, the last place for real talk. Listen with an open mind to leave mad. The choice is yours. I went mysterious that time. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, all right, you fill it out, man.
Unsolved mysteries type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Find your space, God.
Don't empower me, King.
Fucking kings.
Oh, man. I'm your host, Sam Ridley. Y'all already know the vibes around here, man. We're here with my man, 100 Grand, Marcus Palmer. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How you been? I feel like we ain't really said shit all week. This rare. Like,
no.
for whatever reason, like, the podcast is fine, y'all. You know.
No,
I've
everything's
seen
cool.
People really be concerned about us, dog.
Well,
they really be like, are y'all beefing?
That makes my heart happy that they're concerned.
I know. Y'all just giving me a warm pitter-patter in the chest area. You know?
No, everything's fine. I think we haven't talked. Just, motherfuckers be busy, man.
Yeah.
So we still have to live, adult lives. And it was funny is before we started doing this, we had a conversation before we started doing, maybe after the second episode. And the conversation was, where do you see this in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And I revisited that in my mind because I'm a fucking crazy person that goes back to conversations that are old.
Right.
So I was like, man, when this shit fucking takes off and we no longer have to do the regular fucking rigmarole of having a day job.
Yeah.
And we could be completely creative. I was like, man, the amount of content, not just a podcast, because that's not going to stop.
It'll level up. It'll level up exponentially, really.
The skits we talk about doing that we never got to really do.
Yeah, because we'll just be, hey, let's film this sketch today and then go pod. Shit like that,
nuts.
man. Like, y'all have no idea. And shout out once again to all of our listeners on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, YouTube that y'all wait for the videos or watch both. Y'all have no idea what that does for us, for real. And from a creative standpoint, like Marcus is saying, the amount of energy that it takes to have a day job and then be in the mind frame for this sort of thing, only a crazy person would continue to do it. And I have no problem being that fucking crazy for y'all. Because, like, when I see y'all, like, responding and telling people about the stuff we talked about on the show, it means everything. Especially
for sure
those of you that disagree wholeheartedly with some of the shit we just said over the weeks and come back. Because that's the point of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's having a healthy conversation about, some things that may come off as controversial.
Yeah. And they have to. You have to have the conversations. Like, so, yeah, love y'all to death, man. Shout out to the Legal Opinions podcast group and the people that just enjoy the like page and the video clips that come out.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be in that room to like the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, love all of y'all, man. Love all of y'all to death, man. How's your week been? Because I can genuinely ask you that, and I have no fucking idea what you've been doing. So, yeah.
What I do? Kicked it with my son.
Of course.
This motherfucker stepped in the goddamn ant bed.
Like, and stayed there?
Yeah, man. It was...
That shouldn't hurt unless you stay there.
Well, yeah, he stayed there. So I was getting ready to go over to my father's house, and I was putting some shit in the car, and he was kind of like just messing around in the grass in the front yard. And I turned around, and I mean, it was literally... And I live in a cul-de-sac, right? So it's not anything like... I don't live by a major highway or some shit.
Rich nigga shit, got you.
All right, whatever, nigga.
I live in a cul-de-sac.
So I live in a cul-de-sac. How was that rich nigga shit?
I don't know, man. It sounds.
I live in a cul-de-sac. Like, nigga, I live in a circle.
I don't live. Yeah, but I'm not like on a street. So like, the broke houses be by the train tracks and by the major highway. Like, I'm right by the highway. Like, yeah, your rent is $730. Like, no wonder.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
So I turn around and he's playing around in the grass. I turn back around and he's gone. And I'm like, what the fuck is he at? And then he comes screaming from around the side of the car. They're on me. They're on me. And I was like, what's on you? And he's got fucking probably 20 ants on both of his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And they've given the signal to bite his ass. So he's bit up. I'm knocking all the ants off of him, whatever. But the crazy part was, this is why, I mean, I might need to send him somewhere for like Your kids ever do something when they're younger, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this one.
Yeah.
So I knocked the ants off of them, and if I got bit by 20 ants, I'd be emotionally fucking scarred.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s, right?
And he was chilling.
I knocked the ants off. He was chilling. Dog would drive into my dad's house, and he's like, "Daddy, I got bit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh yeah, 10. Hey, that's that Killmonger shit. I mean, it's like, hey, like, every kill is a bump.
I'm looking in the rearview mirror like, this motherfucker might be crazy. So I kicked it with the kid. I went and did some work at a couple of properties I own and manage, but that was really it, man. Low key life. You can't really do shit nowadays anyway. Now that we're closing back down, so
yeah, you know,
Cali, the country is
Cali,
Alabama,
like that. But we need to. It's and if you're out there listening and you're one of those people that refuse to wear a mask, this is all your fault. Like, I hate this. Like, I know, like, you feel different. I'm not going. It's not a politicized thing. It's not. I disagree with my governor's decision. It's a people thing, man. Like, oh, the masks don't prevent everything all the time. Neither does a rubber, but you're supposed to wear them shits, man. Like, that's, you tripping. You all the way tripping. But
what you got into this week, man? We haven't spoken.
Well, let me tell you, back to what you said about your son. First off, your Facebook post with him laying on the ground because he threw a tantrum.
God, man.
That shit was beautiful because kids do that. You can't do nothing but look at him like, man, get your ass up. Like, what are you doing?
I wanted him to eat his last 1.5 chicken nuggets.
And he threw a tantrum over it?
I don't even know what that was a tantrum. He just laid face down on the floor.
Yeah, that's a tantrum. That's a tantrum. That's a silent protest.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah, that's that
protest.
You got Martin. You ain't got Malcolm. That's Martin.
Bruh. He didn't cry or nothing. He didn't even actually have any kind of reaction except for planking in the carpet.
He planked on the carpet.
He had no reaction until I started laughing.
Now, see, I think it was over some chicken nuggets, right?
Some fucking chicken nuggets, man.
How many chicken nuggets had he already eaten?
Maybe 6 or 7.
Goddamn. Okay, see, this is something that I heard was some black shit. We don't waste food. Right? I remember being a kid and being at my grandparents' house for like Thanksgiving, or even it was just a regular ass meal. And if it was like some greens on my plate or something, they'd be like, well, you're not going to play with your cousins until you finish eating.
Right.
Because we don't waste food around here. Now, the newer age is like you're forcing the kid to eat more than he's already full. Maybe he's actually full because you know he likes chicken nuggets. So obviously he just doesn't want to continue eating and he's full. So they're like, oh, that's why it's a black thing, obesity and diabetes, because we're making these kids eat more than, you know, and I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. Sometimes I get it. Sometimes I don't. Like if I know my kids' eating habits and they're not eating a lot, I'm like, no, get that up in you. Like you need that food. You know what I'm saying? So
I understand that.
It was a 10-piece nugget is what I'm thinking.
The thing about this part is that he still had room for ice cream.
Well, they always got room for that shit.
Now see, now I'm calling that bullshit.
But
like,
then you never eat ice cream. Like let's say you if you eat until you're full every single time, you're never gonna want dessert. So maybe he's like
he was saving space.
Yeah. He's like, you know what, man? I don't need these 2 nuggets. I need that Rocky Road or whatever.
1.5 nuggets, bro. 1.5 nuggets.
That might be the spot right there.
Man, fuck him and the nuggets. What you got to talk about? How was your week?
Hey, we got to get our parenting pod on. You know, the parenting portion up early. No, I chilled, man. You know, this was my off week from the day job. You know, I came off like we talked about last pod, that vacation. Yeah. Playing video games, watching TV. Netflix actually been kind of jumping lately. I watched The Old Guard on Netflix. Charlize Theron vehicle. That's probably the most fire movie I've seen on Netflix in a while. I watched that and I watched
the one with Thor in it.
Angel with Thor in it.
Yeah, what's that nigga name? The Thor. He was the movie. God.
No, The Old Guard? No. Ain't no Thor in it.
No. You said it's fire, and you think it's better than... Keep talking.
Oh, you talking about Extraction.
Yes, it was
No,
better
no,
than
no. Okay,
Extraction.
no, it's up there though. Like Netflix
Okay,
is doing action well. I don't know if it's because they got less strict guidelines, but whoever does the action sequences is dope. But the premise of the movie about like some more or less immortals, but they leave a lot open as to why they're immortal, and they've been kind of secretly doing these battles around the world that we don't know about. It was just a dope concept. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you check it out?
sounds like Jumper.
No,
Uh,
no, it is not Jumper. Hayden Christensen. Oh my god.
no, I'm not gonna watch it.
I saw one movie with Hayden Christensen in it that was good. Because as much as I'm a Star Wars fan, he was a shitty Anakin. But I saw
You
him
talking
in
about
this
Takers?
movie in Takers. I saw this movie named Awake, where he plays a dude getting surgery and he's paralyzed the whole movie, but he can feel everything. So he doesn't have to move. And he did an amazing job. Because he didn't have to do shit. That was the
Just lay there.
finest acting job from him I've seen because he didn't have to move.
You shitting
But
all over
anyway,
Hayden Christensen.
yeah,
You
I ain't
like
gonna
when he
shit.
killed them kids though. You ain't mind that.
Oh man, that
When he killed them kids.
the way the kid stepped back when he turned that lightsaber on, bro, was classic. But anyway, no, yeah, man, check it
Yeah,
out. If you check out the Old Guard,
I'm not watching the Old Guard. I can't.
you
It's
can't.
against my. It's against my. I have a moral stance against Charlize Theron,
What?
so I can't do it.
What she do to you, man? She turn you down? She wouldn't give you the cookie? What happened?
Nah, man. And this is a topic that's not really spoken about when it comes to her. Um, so she goes and she adopts these two African kids. She's South African, so whatever, that's cool. Nothing wrong with adopting children in need.
Charlize Theron is South African?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that. All right, the more you know.
So she adopts these two black kids, African, whatever the fuck. Cause people's like, oh, well, they're black or they African. All right, they African,
Yeah,
and they're black. All right,
they have melanin. Pink ass people.
So, according to her, there are two. There's a girl and a boy.
Yeah.
And according to her, the boy at 3 years old told her that he thinks he's a girl. And she immediately went and started dressing him as a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And toting him around Hollywood. And she keeps saying in these interviews when it comes up that she's so proud and she's honored and all this shit. And that just rubs me the wrong way. Like, I don't like that shit. Like, the fact that you would, because here's why I think it's bullshit. It's bullshit because I think her reasoning behind doing it is bullshit as well.
Okay, because I was gonna say, what do you mean it's bullshit? Like,
because a 3-year-old can't tell you a motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
And then you go and just allow that shit to be. If a 3-year-old tells you that they're a fucking horse, you don't go buy a saddle.
Okay, yeah.
You say, okay, look, you're not a horse. You're not an airplane. Please don't jump off of that. You are not an Autobot.
I am a boy, Damon. Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't like that shit. Like, why? Never mind. Go.
Okay. Well, no. Let me ask you a question to that, because I hear what you're saying, and that's a moral stance, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that have to do with the Old Guard being a fire movie? Let me clarify that.
It could be fire.
Hold on. What I mean by that is, and I think this kind of falls into some of the stuff we was talking about in the last part too, where you was like, Will Smith can't be that guy in movies anymore. And some people wrote off Chris Brown or R. Kelly. Sean Connery got a pass for whatever reason. He said he believed men are superior and been beating bitches since like 1940, but people still checked his movies out. So like for Charlize Theron and you, like everybody, you feel how you feel. You know what I'm saying? But do you can't separate that from her as an actress doing her thing on the screen because you don't like what she's doing in her personal life.
The thing about the Will Smith part, I just said Will Smith wouldn't be looked at on set as Will Smith anymore.
So
he can't walk. He can still make well, if he ever does decide to make another good movie, he could still go and make a good movie.
Okay, that's what I mean.
What he did with that whole him and Jada shit, that's just like gossipy fucking, kind of fun to talk about, but not really worth anything to me. When you're taking a child and you're taking this 3-year-old kid and now all of a sudden you're throwing this black kid in number one Hollywood or wherever the fuck they live in California, throwing him in girls' clothes. Now the kid is like 7 or 8. Now this kid is in girls' clothes going to school as a boy dressed as a girl. I don't think you're giving that like it's kind of like this. Like I talked to you before we started this little thing here.
This little thing here.
This little convo. If your son or if your daughter told you they wanted to worship Satan, you wouldn't be like, well, okay, let's go dress you in all black and get you whatever those books look like.
Yeah.
And just completely support that. You don't listen to a fucking 3-year-old person and then just, you know what, this isn't talking about, hey, I want to play basketball, I want to play soccer. No, this is, I am genetically a boy, but I feel like I might be a girl. Children are fluid. Like children, like my son, if I drop my son off to go play at a little girl's house, and all she has is girl toys, right? My son's gonna go in there and just fucking play with the toys.
Yeah, he's not gonna think about it one way or the other. He's just gonna go play.
Yes, he's just gonna go play.
Okay, so
but I'm not gonna go and buy him Barbies because because I saw him playing with Barbies.
Same, and that's okay. All right, I know where you was going, but yeah, like I used to have, or I have female cousins, and that's what they would have. So when they had Barbies in the dollhouse and whatnot, and we upstairs, I'm looking like there's something missing between this Barbie doll's legs. I knew a long time ago. I was like, well, let me see what's supposed to be there. Right. You know, and I was still a dude. But when I left, my mom didn't go, oh, you like Barbie dolls? Let's go by Toys R Us. Let's go get you some. You know, I think what with Charlize, and this is both sides of that coin. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. A 3-year-old can't go, hey, I'm a girl now, and have you follow suit behind it. The other side of that is in California, him being 8 going to school with a dress on, they're going to go, you're so brave. And you know he's not going to a regular ass school. They're going to go, you're so brave for being yourself and this and that. However, one could make the argument that Charlize has made him feel like you're a girl now because you nurtured a boy into being that at a very impressionable age. So there's two sides to it, and it depends on how progressive you like to think. Like if you like to think, well, that whole gender thing is decided before you're even born. So he came up and he just decided he was a girl. I'm like, he didn't come up though. He was 3.
He was 3 years old.
You know, so it's at what point do you draw the line between I'm parenting and I'm teaching a behavior? It's just like racism is taught to like young kids, like young white kids, racist towards anybody. I'm not gonna just put it on white. Mm-hmm. That type of behavior is taught at a young age. Kids play with kids, and until you teach them about color, they really don't care as long as the kid is cool.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's hard to go, all right, it's cool in this way to just teach somebody something and have them run with it. And then on this side go, well, that's wrong. You got to pick one. If you're going to be fair across the board, people are hypocrites anyway. But like that right there to me is what you're getting at, I think. Because I'm pretty sure she'd have a problem with it if it was, I don't know, flipped around or some shit, you know?
I mean, I just think that, like, I think Dennis Rodman mentioned that before. He said that one thing that confused him when he was younger was the fact that his sisters would put makeup on him. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, he would go outside with them and he's got makeup on his face. It became a confusing time for him as a child because he's like, okay, well, I know I'm a man. I'm a boy, but I'm like, my sisters are dolling me up like a woman. That's where all that shit that he does kind of came from, him being a kid and that happening to him. Oh, and about the movie part, like we Terry Crews. We're canceling Terry Crews, or whatever the fuck cancel means now. We're doing whatever the fuck that is to him, getting him the fuck out the culture because of things that he's only saying,
right?
On Twitter, right? He's only talking stupid on Twitter. That's all he's doing.
Yeah,
and we're like, okay, Terry, you got to get the fuck out of here. But Charlize Theron adopts 2 black kids, and this has been one. I'm not even gonna get into this part about the fucking sissification of the black man around the world. That'll be a different time. We'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
But you go and adopt these 2 kids from Africa. You bring them back to America. Great, good for you. But then now you got your son walking around in a fucking one-piece bathing suit with beads and shit in his hair because he told you one day when he was 3 fucking years old that he thinks he might be a girl.
It's a bad look.
3.
Yeah, it's a weird look. I personally, I feel like you feel. That's a no-go for me. If you want to take that Terry Crews route of like all Terry's doing is saying shit, but he's not really hurting anybody, I think the problem with him is he has a platform and he's choosing to use his platform to speak more or less against Black Lives Matter. And it's like either you're on the team or you're not. And at a time when it's a hot button issue, you got to go. If that's where your stance is with that. Charlize is directly affecting a child's upbringing. However, I can separate that shit from the movie. Some people cannot. And I think that's just where, every person's got to draw that line somewhere. But do you think you pick and choose it for each artist? Because that's what I was getting at with the R. Kelly, Chris Brown, Sean Connery thing. I don't have any ill will towards Chris Brown. Yes, he beat Rihanna. Yes, they reconciled it. He knows he did something wrong. I feel like this cancel culture thing does this shit where nobody's allowed to grow past a mistake.
Right.
So let's say Terry Crews tomorrow is like, you know what, I was tripping. Are you still going to be like, nah, get the fuck up out of here? Those people, I think, are wrong because all of us should be able to grow. If y'all have heard me and Marcus say anything, and I'm talking to the listeners when I say that, if you've heard me and Marcus say anything that you disagree with about the LGBT community, about movies, about politics, whatever, yes, everybody has an opinion. But if it's just an uneducated, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, oh, now I'm presented with new information, and you still don't let us take in that information and move on with us, you're part of that problem. You have to let people make those mistakes in life and learn from them and then not beat them up for the old ones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that to me, yeah. Charlize is fucking up in that respect 100% as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know. I don't know.
But the movie was fine.
Okay, like Magic Johnson's son. Like he let him grow up and then be who you want to be. All right. Like I provided you the best life that I could. If you want to go that way, then go that way. I don't give a. Live your life. Be happy. And Magic Johnson has never showed on television anyway any shame towards his gay son.
Yeah,
and
he shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. But I just want to me. Maybe I know this kid didn't grow up the way I grew up, but I'm just kind of thinking about man, if this kid grew up where I live now today, at 8 years old, wearing being dressed up, I would get ridiculed for that. Let my son dress up as a little girl.
Yeah, and that's why I said in LA and Hollywood, he's gonna be in a much different environment than the South. So that'll
South.
Yeah, for real. That shit ain't flying down there. It just ain't.
I don't think it flies most places unless you're in a ritzy place. If you're in a place where there's celebrity and your fucking your classmate's name is fucking Apple, then that's fine.
It's gonna fly. That's what. Let me be clear to the audience because I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm saying. When I say it won't fly, I mean culturally in the area he's in. Like that shit is a different dynamic where we grew up versus being in California where you can walk in there and be like, I'm a rutabaga now. And people are going to be like, all right, Root, I got you. I feel you, my baga. That's just what's going to happen, man. It's just a different type of culture. So people feel a little bit more open to step out the box and do whatever just makes them feel pretty, or normal or whatever you want to call it. A comedian friend of mine just came out and said, I just realized over time that I'm non-binary. Like love is love to me, and I don't care if they're male or female. And he's been kind of showcasing it. Huh?
He's bisexual?
More or less, but he just chose not to frame it that way.
Okay.
Now, now he's starting to take pictures and show like this is who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, I call it bisexual. You know what I'm saying? But it's not for me.
Ass.
Huh? What?
iRobot, like a non-binary.
I did not murder him.
Right. I'm sorry, man.
I'm not gonna start calling him Canner. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, God.
But no, for real.
Movie Will Smith made.
And look, that last, damn, that's fucked up. We gonna break down Will Smith movies one episode, man. I think that'll be fun. But my point to him, and shout out to him because he's a fucking hilarious comic. Theo Manhattan, absolutely hilarious dude. I commend him for being himself and speaking his truth. And having met him, sat down with him, talked to him, I ain't gonna lie. When I first met him, I thought that he might be bisexual.
Yeah.
So to find out, and that's just the scary thing. Like, it took him probably some time to decide, I just want to be me.
Yeah.
So, but again, he's an adult male that made that decision for himself. Who knows if he felt that way at 3? I might ask him that question, because to me, what's the acceptable age? Like you said, 3 is too young. Let's say your kid grows up and goes to elementary school, and he comes home and is like, I got a boyfriend.
How old is he?
Elementary school.
I don't know how old that is.
1st grade, 2nd grade. Do you go, like, no, you don't have a boyfriend because you like girls? At that point, they're cognitive. They can talk. They can find what they want to find. They can like what they want to like. And you know that as a father, you haven't taught him one way or the other.
Right.
So do you go, you're still too young? Like, what age to you is, okay, you're old enough to decide whether or not you want to be whatever sexuality you want to be?
Double digits.
Double digits.
Yeah.
Why specifically double digits?
Like 10, 11, 12, like around there. I think by then, you know. If my son comes home, okay, he's 6 years old or whatever, however old 1st grade is, right? So if he comes home and he says to me, hey, Dad, I have a boyfriend, I'll be like, "K?
K?
What do you mean?"
That's that Spanish, y'all. That's that Spanish.
So I've been doing my lessons. So
nigga.
That's goddamn right. So we need to have a conversation. We need to, okay, let's talk, kid, about you and your boyfriend. Like, what does that mean to you?
Have you seen this pussy though?
Have you seen this pussy though?
No, that's not the name of the episode.
No. Have you seen this pussy though? Nah. Speaking of that, since we're doing this right now, okay, basically I'm saying I would have to have a conversation with my son. We have to talk about what a boyfriend means to him.
Right.
Like, what all that shit is. Now, since we kind of on this parenting tipping with your kids, some white people came out and said that it's perfectly fine to watch porn with your children.
Oh, yeah. That was George Stephanopoulos' wife. You have to know that name. It doesn't matter who they are. Yeah, man.
What?
Stephanopoulos.
Snuffleupagus.
George Snuffleupagus' wife came out and said that parents should watch porn with their kids. Now, let me quantify that that's the name of the article. The first article that I read on it. I try to read this shit from multiple sources because it doesn't. So I'm not like, well, Fox News said, like, bump all that. Right. And when I read it, like most people listening, if you're listening now, you probably heard that and just kind of made a stank face. Like, what? I should watch porn with my kid. So in reading it, I understood what the intent was. And this opens up a much bigger conversation. Like me and Marcus always say, I like the deeper, dig with me. So what she was saying in this is not like sit down with your kid and pop in a booty talk tape. Her purpose was, which, I mean,
West Coast Productions.
Sugar Walls. They had some wild names of pornos back then. Sugar Walls.
Big Booty Revenge.
Why does it need revenge?
Why does the booty want revenge on me for beating that?
I know. Why is it fighting back? Like, just take this dick. What she was saying in this, y'all got to remember this too, because I see a lot of people, they'll post shit on the internet, and it's just because the article got them hot, so they go ahead and they post whatever about it or whatever.
Clickbait,
yeah, clickbait. And that article did. It made me click on it because I was like, what you mean you're watching porn with your kid? Now I need to see how wild y'all are. And what she was saying was, at this day and age, it's not like when me and you was coming up, trying to turn to the channel 99 and it's blurry.
Trying to dial it in.
Yeah, you know, when the titty turned green and the waves. Remember that?
Waves on it. Ooh.
Oh, man. Y'all realize how many titties you get to see now? Like, y'all is younger listening to this pod, man. Like, y'all got so much access to titty. It's not
everywhere.
It's not fair. It's really not fair. Like, we used to, had a back button and you going back and forth because every now and then the screen would clear up. That's what we had to do to watch porn.
You get the lines across the screen going up, but you still could get the picture.
Yeah. It's a whole different thing. I found my first porno magazine in the garage. I still have it. I still have that bitch from back in the day. It was a swank.
You got them. Oh, they got that field down there.
Yeah.
They ain't cut them pubes since '68. Talk about entangled.
Yeah,
Put your face down there.
That's entanglement.
That's entanglement.
Eating pussy with hair on it. That's entanglement. Goddamn. But like trying to spit the hair out and shit. You like that, girl? I don't.
Like them 2 pics around this motherfucker. God damn.
It's dental dam. Need that. But what she was saying was kids today have so much access to porn that you really can't stop them from watching it.
Okay.
So if you know your child is going to be watching it with or without your consent, not to sit down and just watch a flick with them, but sit down and explain to them that this is not real sex. It's a performance. These people are performing a job, more or less. Yes, they're having sex, but it's not what sex is going to be. In other words, you don't want to skew their perception of what sex should be so that they're not let down when they get with somebody, when they start doing it and realize that position ain't comfortable.
When you go to fix somebody, when you're a plumber and you go to somebody's house, she's not gonna just let you fuck.
They're like, why does my kid want to be a pizza man so bad? Does he want to get his dick sucked, mama? Like, and it happens every delivery, apparently.
How do you sit down? How do you I want to be a professional pool cleaner. Why?
Because I got pipes to clean, mom.
Yeah, dog. I couldn't even imagine sitting down with my son and watching a flick and trying to have an actual conversation, because it would go like this. Yeah, see, they're starting in the middle, and that's not how love works, son. That's not how, making love doesn't work like that. You don't start in the middle. You have to build up and have some emotion for somebody. And God damn, he beating that bitch pussy up. Holy shit. Hold on a second.
So you're gonna go from trying to explain it to being like, God damn, who is this chick right here?
Go in your room. Bring me the Nivea. For
Hey, dog, hold up. Yo. The Nivea bottle on deck, dog. Man, my dick smell like vanilla when I beat it.
Oh, I got you. Hold on.
He going to get a load that.
I got that blue, boy.
Oh, that blue bottle.
I got that blue bottle, boy. I got that. That's that rich. That's that rich and that thick.
Deep lather.
Oh, boy.
You ain't even got to reapply. You need one coat.
I got that goddamn, that 25% bonus, nigga.
Ooh, that 25% more jacking.
Hey, give me that Nivea on your way out now. All right, now. Turn that game up. Don't come out your room till I come get you.
Put your headphones on. If you want to hear this fap. Oh, man. Yeah, man.
Because at the end, hold on. Because at the end, when you're done having to talk professionally, he nuts on her face. And it's like, oh, well, that's how the end of sex happens.
But this is where it gets, I don't want to say confusing for me, but as much as, yes, that's not the everyday sexual outing. Most flicks you watch, it is a fantasy. And yes, I get teaching the kid that point. I don't have to watch it with him to teach him that point.
Exactly.
One.
Watch some Skinamax, some little soft porn.
Yeah. Right? And
Emmanuel or some shit.
And I don't want to lower my kids' standards.
What do you mean?
Like, look, hold up, man. Look, what I'm saying is, as much as yes, that's not real life. I completely understand that sentiment. There's some chicks out there doing that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh
right.
Yes.
So I don't want it to be. Hey, it's never gonna be this way, son. And then dad's a liar when you run into one of them chicks that's about that life, throwing it bike. Like now,
imagine your son 16 years old asking girls if they swallow.
Yeah, you can't ask that question at 11.
You know what I mean? Do I swallow what?
It's a valid question.
You ain't the one.
And if you're into that, it's something you should definitely ask before you get married. But it's 100% like something that you don't just say right off bat. But when you meet that chick that's like, oh my God, you riding dick with both feet flat on the bed. Like, it's a problem for your dick that day.
Because
you won't ready.
Knee popping.
Bruh.
Knees popping and everything.
Well, like you got your check engine light ain't came on them knees or nothing. Dog, that is game life changing. You have set the bar. Every female after you has to at least be like on par with that. Or you're always gonna want that. So no, I'm not watching porn with my kid, but those females that's doing that shit in them pornos, they do exist. So it's not unrealistic per se. Some of the shit,
nasty one, son.
Nasty. Some of the positions and shit, they're doing it for the camera angle. We got that. But as far as a chick that is swallowing, that is riding dick like that is like they out there. So I don't want to like make him think that this is all a myth. It ain't Dryland. This ain't Waterworld.
But
because Dryland was out that bitch too. They just had to find it.
But the thing about it is your kid, your son or your daughter can still get addicted to porn when they get older. It's still something that can happen when they have more access to it.
What's porn addiction though?
What's porn addiction? I think porn addiction is
I don't believe in it.
You have a hard time having a sexual encounter because it's not like what you're watching a couple times a day.
Right.
So when you're on a date with somebody and then y'all get to the crib and she ain't straight up dropping down to her knees, giving you a blowjob, you're like, okay, so you want foreplay? I don't know what that is.
Because I'm used to just seeing it right there.
Yeah, I'm used to fast forwarding to get to my scene. So can we fast forward through this part?
Can you imagine looking at a chick and making her buffer so that you can get to the next point? Like I'm about to skip to the end of this shit.
Yeah, can we get to the part where I'm fucking you from the back?
Yeah, all right, let's tie it back to what we were talking about in the developmental stages, right? So a kid in the wrong developmental stage that sees porn and goes, oh, okay, this is what sex is.
Okay.
They've been taught wrong. So she's not, I feel like I said, that the title was misleading. She's not wrong in saying watch it with them, but not watch it with them. Like explain to them. I don't want to watch my son watch a chick getting bust down.
You watching your son watch some girl get dusted off?
Yeah.
Get straight dusted off.
Because I think we talked about this in a previous pod. Like I'm 100% sure that my oldest has seen adult film.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be in the room. That's a very, very private thing. And I know I was young when I first started like being like, damn, pussy looked good. And I had never had it before, but I knew I liked it. And I was looking in this magazine and girls with their legs open and shit like that. You know, magazine. I'm old as fuck. And I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. And then getting into like tapes and DVDs and shit like that. It was like, this is what I want for sure. But at the same time, I knew chicks back then that was about that life, that was doing wild shit, that was down with the public action and this and that. So the wild stuff that I would see in flicks, I was like, it's not far-fetched, but it's not every female.
Yeah.
So there's a line there.
I think what the parallel to that is, I've heard parents say, if my kid's gonna smoke weed, I'd rather them smoke it with me, or I introduce it to them and let them understand what this is supposed to be about.
In a safe space,
as opposed
right?
to letting them find out on the street with some people that they might not really be that familiar with, and they find out that they're high around the wrong people. So I mean, I guess everybody's got fuck. I guess people just doing whatever the fuck they want to with their kids, man. But
I mean, everybody will. Nobody can tell you how to parent your son. You're gonna tell them to mind their fucking business.
Wild shit with my son.
Wild to you though. Like
Bro,
you might be
porn with your kid is fucking wild.
No, that's wild. That's wild. But what I'm saying is, I guarantee you, they have some friend somewhere that's like, "Oh yeah, I feel you. That ain't wild." Everybody's wild is different. Some girls would consider swallowing wild.
Too. They wild too.
Some girls would consider swallowing an extremely wild thing.
That's true.
Those women are single. So, all right, I'm fucking around, but I'm serious. So,
I'm fucking about serious.
It's jokes, guys. Leave mad or swallow. The choice is yours. So yeah, that type of thing is subject to each. And what I mean is, you're not gonna be able to convince, or nobody's gonna be able to convince you, rather, that something you're doing that you feel like is the best interest of your child, in the best interest, is wrong. Right. If Charlize Theron thinks that the best thing she can do is nurture whatever thought that child has, nobody's gonna be able to convince her that it's not wild, even though we think it's wild.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. I was when I was growing up, we always thought that homeschooled kids were kind of strange, right? Because homeschooling has things. In my opinion, things are different now. Like, things aren't the way that they were before. So there was this family. Me and my friends were over there one time. The kids were outside playing on this big ass mound of dirt they had in their backyard. We go over there, we start playing with them, king of the fucking mountain and shit. Parents say, "Come on in, we got cookies and fucking shit like that," right? Come in and kick it. So we go in there eating cookies and drinking juice, and their dad breaks out the fucking guitar. All of a sudden, he's singing Jesus songs to us, right? And we don't give a fuck about the songs. We was there for the cookies. So I go home, tell my dad, "No, where were you at all day?" "Oh, I was over here doing this thing with this family over here." My dad was like, "Yeah, I want you going back over there." And I was like, "Why not? They had cookies, they had juice." He's like, "I don't like, the fact that they over there." Basically, my dad was trying to say they on some cult shit and we ain't fucking with that.
Right.
So if your son has a friend, you find out said friend's parents allow their kid to watch porn.
Yeah. Okay.
Does your son go over to their house?
No.
That's all I'm saying.
But look, dog, again, no, that's because I don't parent that way.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
They can't be friends though. Yeah.
Okay, so and I got one.
Be friends.
No. RL was hurt, nigga. When We Can't Be Friends came out, dog. Do you know? You ever been so sad you laid back against the wall and slid down that motherfucker?
Oh yeah.
The slow slide plop. That is the epitome of She Broke My Heart.
Yep.
I think he had her picture in his hand too. Like, if a girl break your heart that bad, you got to burn everything that had to do with her. Like, you can't do that. We can't do that. So let me give you a scenario then. So,
okay.
And I'm going somewhere with it. So just the Charlize Theron thing. She's your neighbor. Mm-hmm. Your kid is friends with that little boy. Mm-hmm. Do you let him go over Charlize Theron's house? Because her lifestyle is different, even though your kid's already cool.
Yeah, I would. But if Charlize came over in my fucking grass and was like, "Hey, I think your son, I think he might be gay," I'd be like, "Bitch, if you don't get back on your side of the fence line, send my son back over here."
You gonna show her the Fate of the Furious? Is that what you gonna do?
Get the fuck out get out of here. Them cornrows you had was trash.
Okay, because this is what I'm saying. So my son has a friend that is gay.
Okay.
I have no problem with him going over there to play.
Yeah.
It's not like a parent's pushing him on it thing. They just cool. And they don't even think of it as a weird thing. Yes, we're in California, but I'm not in LA. But kids. It's they're kids and they just having fun. Like, and if my son was like, "You know what? I kind of like that vibe." All I can do is be like, "All right." At this point, I know he's intelligent, make his own decisions, all that good shit. But that's what I mean with the Charlize Theron thing. So you answered it. I was wondering if you'd be like, "Oh, hell no," because I don't agree with the way that they're raising their child. So,
but I mean, I'd be like, "Hey, before you go that way, try out this fleshlight."
Hey, if your kid can fill up a fleshlight at 11, he needs to go into porn.
Oh shit!
That motherfucker, he's a beast. You filling up a fleshlight at 11,
Your
goddamn.
son's on. Your son's on. You got an implant. That's right,
man.
Speaking of Hollywood and the crazies,
yep. What you
your
got?
Your boy Kanye is at it again.
Can we not call him my boy? Can we do that? I'm a firm believer in missing the old Ye. Ye died for me after Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Me too.
After that album, that was the most brilliant album I had ever heard. And I'll say this, I didn't like it the first time I heard it.
Wow.
Let me the first time I heard, but you know how you got to be in the right mindset when you listening to music, and I think I just wasn't there. And then one day, I think I was pissed off, and I was listening to Power, and the way that it comes in with the choir, I was like, yeah, my boss shouldn't have that kind of motherfucking power. Like
man.
I went back to the beginning and listened to it, man, and I was like, this is the most beautiful, like, ode to rap music, lyrics, style. It was amazing. It's still one of my favorite albums. After that album, Kanye West, as I knew it, passed away. And the only time I saw a glimpse of the old Kanye was on a song that wasn't even fucking his, that he produced for Pusha T, which was If You Know, You Know. That's one of my favorite hip hop tracks ever. And I could feel old Kanye inside of it. Like, you can feel it in your spirit that he's still in there.
Yeah.
Like, he's in the sunken place, literally. And, like, you know, after his mom passed and all of that, like, I know he really lost it.
The Life of Pablo was good.
It was all right.
It wasn't Dark Twisted Fantasy good.
Okay,
it was better than fucking Yeezus and whatever other garbage he's put out.
Yeezus was the worst shit ever, dog. That was the worst shit ever.
I know people that love that. Well, they're also Caucasian. Not dissing of my Caucasian brothers and sisters, but y'all was really only people that was fucking with that.
Yeah, and it was for y'all. I really hate to be like it's black music, white music, whatever, but like certain shit just ain't for everybody. And that album was not for us. It just couldn't be. Yeah. I don't know. It just couldn't be. But yeah, Kanye West is back in the news saying some wild shit. I'm not even gonna get into his presidential run because that is, to me, he's got to have some sort of rollout coming. I'm praying he has an album coming out that'll justify this shit, because we know Kanye to do wild stuff when he has an album coming out. But for him to come out and be like, Harriet Tubman didn't really free the slaves. That statement by itself. Look, I'm actually defend his statement for a second, and it's gonna be weird.
Okay. Go ahead.
That statement it's gonna be weird. I don't give a fuck. They know where they at. That statement by itself is 100% false. Mm-hmm. She did free slaves.
Right.
She wasn't singing while she was doing it, like in Harriet.
Oh God!
What a movie. She did free slaves. To quantify that statement with, she just sent them to work for other white people. Now, this goes to something that I wanted to speak on, and this is more podcast related. At the level that me and Marcus are at, I'm gonna tie this back to Kanye in a minute. At the level me and Marcus are at doing this podcast, and we absolutely love each and every one of y'all that listen early. Because while this thing is still small, we're not accountable to anybody. There's no Spotify saying, y'all can't say this, y'all can't say that. There's no Apple. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's no corporations that are paying us to hold our tongue. Having said that, me and Marcus, a lot of times in pre-roll and conversations about the content we want to put out, know we have a responsibility with the voices that we have to say something in an intelligent manner. Now, with that being said, we have to assume that we're always talking to the stupidest motherfucker alive when we say stuff. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So, and what I mean by that, that's not a slight at anybody listening. There's all of the people, at this point, I can assume most of the people listening to our show are extremely intelligent. Once this balloons and we have hundreds of thousands of listeners, I have to assume at least half of them are fucking retarded. And in saying that, I have to choose my words carefully so that they don't get misconstrued to the lowest possible meaning of them. So Kanye comes out and says, Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. She just sent them to work for more white people. If you take it a step further in thought past just hearing that sentence, he's not wrong.
Okay.
Because the Underground Railroad, and I think we've talked about this, where people be like, man, this movie was making white saviors happen. We didn't make that Underground Railroad shit happen on our own. Harriet was working with white people to free more black people. I think that was what Kanye was trying to say and didn't say it well enough. So when you say that sentence, and then if some of y'all only watch the YouTube clip where they cut it off right after he said that and a black chick goes, oh, we're leaving. It sounds really bad. I didn't watch the whole clip. I don't want to watch Kanye West make a fake presidential run for 45 minutes. I got better shit to do with my time.
Or fake cry.
Or fake afterwards. Cry. I don't see none of that. And I'm not making light of his mental illness at all. What I'm saying is, I think his statement was misspoken. And if he had worded it better, it would have been all right. Black people got freed. Harriet didn't do it by herself. Now they're working with white people to free other black people. And in that sense, they're working with white people. But they're still free. So Kanye was wrong. But he said it absolutely wrong. You understand where I'm going? What I'm saying?
Understand. But let's do it like that then, okay? Let's say he's not wrong. Even if they did leave the South to go north and continue to work for white people, which is probably very true.
That part makes sense.
The lifestyle is severely different.
Oh yeah, no.
Between living in a fucking outhouse with 4 other motherfuckers and being in, I don't know what the fucking Richmond, Virginia, or Delaware or some shit. And you get to wear clothes and have land.
I'm with it. I'm 100% with it. No, I'm 100% with it, man. But what I'm saying, Kanye he said the shit wrong because he didn't say that they went up there to become slaves. Still,
right? He
said they went up there to work for other white people. We don't know if they was getting paid. We don't know if they had a pension plan. There's no 401 slave. Like, so I know. I think that he misspoke. I think he was dead wrong. To me, it was just some shit that just didn't need to be said. Like we say, you could have just shut the fuck up. Yeah. I think that he said the shit so wrong that it was the perfect bad soundbite.
Right.
And what I mean by that is the intent of the person that's talking. If anybody's listening to me, listening to Marcus, if you've been listening to us since pod 1, fucking platypussy, then you should know by now a little bit about who we are and know that we don't mean nobody no ill intent. And if Marcus says something misspeaking or I say something misspeaking, you should know that we don't mean it in the most extreme manner ever. I really don't think Kanye West believes Harriet Tubman freed slaves to make new slaves. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, we got to take the speaker into account, like the Nick Cannon thing. And I don't want to deep dive on that, but I don't think that Nick Cannon's intent was to call Jewish people all savages. Right. But they ran with that sentence. We got to stop doing that. We got to go, all right, what's his intent? Am I reading into this a little bit too far? Or do they really mean they think I'm that guy? And we don't do that. There's no discernment when people say shit.
There isn't, but here, this is what I've been thinking since we started talking about this. How long or how often do we allow people that claim to have mental illness the way Kanye claims to be bipolar?
He is.
How long is it allowed? I mean, is it just okay for him to go out in public and say dumb shit and then for him or Kim to come out and be like, "Oh, my bad. He's bipolar. Don't worry about him." You still have to be accountable for the shit you say. If you can't be accountable for what you say, get back on your fucking meds, go back in the fucking house and shut the fuck up. And don't worry about people fucking getting mad at you. Just be quiet, nigga. And you don't got to do that.
That's
get
simple.
on your meds. It's not.
It is simple. No,
super simple.
That's simple.
Stay at home.
That's simple to me and you though, because we don't have 100 people around us that depend on us financially. So those people are essentially yes men. They're gonna let Kanye be wild because he feeds their family. That's the danger of making it. He has too many motherfuckers around him, bodyguards. I don't know if his publicist just goes to sleep during the day.
Every time he goes outside.
And then wakes up and is just like, God damn it, like I got to deal with this today. But something is off in the people around him that will allow him to keep going out and doing this type of shit. It's the gift and the curse of making it. You got how can you tell who's really on your team and who's really being honest with you? Let's say this thing takes off.
Mental illness cannot be an excuse anymore.
They know he has a mental illness, but Kanye going out and doing that wild shit makes money for them. That's where the problem lies, dog. Like, think about if me and you, like you said earlier, all we had to do was be creative. But outside of the creative, they know me and you out in the streets just doing some wild shit. But it's not affecting their bottom line. And if the wild shit that we're doing isn't affecting their bottom line or their well-being, they have no reason to say anything. I think that's what happens with him. He's with a Kardashian. They live off of wild shit. Kim has nothing going on right now. Don't give a shit about her except for when she's doing some shit that Kanye has to do because they're together. So what does she do after he goes and makes that wild shit? She makes a statement because nobody's looking her way right now. Nobody. They thrive off of his wildness, bruh. It's sad.
This is why I say fuck them. Like last week, whenever that was, I was like, man, fuck them Smiths. This is all bullshit. It's all about cameras. It's all about being in front of the TV. It's all about the fucking clicks and all that shit.
Then August drops Entanglement.
This is the song. I didn't listen to it. Did you hear
I didn't either. No. Well, I read the lyrics to it, and I don't even. Honestly, I'm tired of fucking talking about Will and Jada.
No, we're not gonna do that.
So, but I read the lyrics to it, and then Rick Ross put a verse on it, and the people that were like, "No, he's just a kid that's hurt. He fell in love with her." Shut the fuck up. If y'all don't see this as a publicity stunt now, I got nothing to talk to you about because you're too stupid to have the conversation with.
Why wouldn't you do that? Like if this come like, so why can't he not still stand up on that shit and make some money off of it? Okay, I got this single.
At this point, I'm
gonna write this fucking song. Right? Write this shit, put Ross on it, call it fucking Entanglement, since that's her word.
Yeah. And just like
throw that out.
And just like I said before with the whole thing, I don't know one August Styles singing the song. I know one now. And it's called Entanglement because he made a point to tie it to the situation. Before that, you're just a dude that did some fuck shit to get your album sold. Now that you've tied them together officially, more people are going to give you a look. I know that was your purpose. Do your thing, bruh. You'll never have my support. Like, simple as that. Because that's just some fuck shit, nigga shit to do. I'm not in a position to be like, I got to capitalize off of this in that way. I pray I'm never there. But with the way that you went about it was some fuck nigga shit to do. Period.
Okay, so you don't support August, but you'll go and watch Charlize Theron run around on TV. All right, I got it. What's next?
Oh, God.
What's next on the?
Hey, like I said, people pick and choose the artists. Maybe I was already into the Charlize thing before she did that. But like, to me, she's raising a kid. She's got him looking crazy to me, but it's affecting that kid. I feel like August was just messy. I don't know.
Kanye,
it's different to me.
You done with Kanye? I'm done with Kanye.
I'm done with Kanye.
Drop an album, make it good. How about that, Ye?
Oh yeah, your next album better be fire.
God damn it!
It better be all the way fire.
All right. Well, I guess we stay over here in I guess kind of entertainment, talking about crazy people. We talked about it about a month ago. It came up. We saw Mike Tyson. Going around hitting pads, having a good old time.
Yeah, living his best life.
And I believe we said on that podcast something about him fighting Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, we prophets like that, man. I think we did
something like that.
Just him coming back to fight. Period, because he said he was really interested in doing it.
So now it's official.
Yes, Roy
September
Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson for an 8-round exhibition match. I know a lot of y'all don't give a fuck about boxing. But
they gonna watch that shit.
Yeah.
They gonna watch that shit.
Let me tell y'all, man. Like, I have always been of the mind, do what makes you happy. And I'm a Mike Tyson fan, and I'm a Roy Jones fan. If Mike Tyson is to come back into boxing, this is the right way to do it.
How you think? Why you say that?
Because I was afraid he was gonna try and jump back out there and beat up one of these, 20-something-year-olds.
Yeah.
That might beat his ass. Like, this is kind of all right, it's an exhibition. I love doing this. You love doing this. Both of us are retired. Both of us are past our prime. Let's go mix it up and make some money. I got you.
Okay.
I feel that, man. And like when you're bred to do something your whole life, it's hard to just stop. Right. Like I talked about that with this Corona thing going down and comics not having a place. It's hard, man. And you battle with whether or not that old life is over or if you need to reinvent it in some form or fashion. I hope they have a blast. Goddamn, I had to erase that shit. I bit my goddamn tongue. I sneezed so hard. My nose was itching. I was like, I'm fighting it, nigga. I'm fighting it. I love mistakes. Fuck it. Keep that shit in there.
Cartoon sneezing ass. Holy shit.
Shut up, nigga. But yeah. Do you think it's a bad thing for him to come back, or are you like looking forward to it?
I think it's a bad thing for him to come back. I mean, it's cool to show people glimpses of that old Mike Tyson. That's great. But here's the thing that I think people are forgetting. Yes, it's Mike Tyson, who's 54. And I think Roy Jones is 52. So it's in the same wheelhouse, right? As far as age goes. The difference is Mike Tyson hasn't been hit in 15 years.
When's the last time Roy Jr.'s fought?
2018.
Roy's Jr.
2 years ago. Roy Jr.
I called him Roy's Jr.
Roy's Jr. Barbecue.
It sounds like a rib or something. Roy's Jr.
But I just think, man, I know Mike Tyson talking that shit right now. He came out today, I believe, and said, I only know one way to fight. That's going forward. And that's being ferocious and things like that. And it's all cool to say when you've been hitting some pads and it looks great to do that.
Well, he wasn't wrong in saying that because that's always been his style of fighting.
And that's cool to say that, but you ain't fought nobody in 15 years. Roy fought somebody a year and a half ago and won, by the way.
Roy Jones is still fast. Like, you remember I remember Roy Jones in his prime, and I swore he was the Flash. Like, that dude was ridiculous. Yeah. Like, his speed was stupid. Like, you'd have to go back to be like, did he even hit the dude back? He's on the ground. He must have. But he was ridiculous.
On some Nightcrawler shit. Dude throw a punch and like, where's Roy? Behind him. His hands behind his back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If he has even iota of that speed left, he's going to give.
Does.
It's going to be a bad day. Okay, see, I need to see it. It's going to be
the shit out of this dude.
It's going to be a bad night for Mike Tyson, man. But just to see the two of them in the ring, I would love. It's going to be fun. That's a fight I'm looking forward to.
Pay-per-view, man. What you think is going to be 100? Hundo?
It's gonna be deja vu all over again, man. I remember getting in Mike Tyson fights back in the day. The whole family come over to see him knock somebody out in 16 seconds. Like, we done made all his food.
Yeah.
and now they won't leave. now they won't leave.
Thinking about this whole thing, this fight, right? And everybody's so excited for it. It's all over the place. You know, people that do sports for business, they can't stop talking about it. I'm sure fucking Stephen A. and whoever the fuck else, Max and them motherfuckers been talking about it all day.
But there's almost nothing going on, so
I don't subscribe to them motherfuckers, man. I'm sorry. Them niggas is corny to me. I don't like none of the shit they do. I don't watch First Take. I don't like none of that shit. I don't mind Kellerman. I don't mind Max on
boxing.
Doing boxing.
You gotta listen to him on boxing.
I don't want to listen to him talk about Mike Trout's fucking contract with the Angels. Like, I don't need that in my life. So anyway, I kind of got to thinking, man, like, people keep saying we need sports back as a distraction. And I'm like, do we need to be distracted right now? Like, is this a time that we need a fucking distraction? We're trying to get some fucking shit done. And motherfuckers out here talking about, we need basketball back so bad. We need baseball and football back so bad. I can't get through I can't do this all year with no sports. Maybe you shouldn't fucking do anything all year with no sports.
You think that would help?
Maybe we should sit down and pay attention to what the fuck is going on around us for 1 year. For a year.
I mean,
let's get some fucking police, some real police reform going on right now. Let's fucking get some real shit. These motherfuckers that killed Breonna Taylor, let's get them in fucking jail right now. Let's pay attention to that shit, because I feel like once these sports start back up, people are gonna start fucking caring less. Like, It ain't gonna be no niggas in the street in LA anymore fucking protesting because the Lakers play at goddamn 7.
The distraction. Well, okay, that's one of them people. Can you focus on two things at the same time?
I think
one
most
thing
people are out
can't.
on the street right now because there's nothing else to do. That's why there's nothing to do.
You think that's why they're protesting?
Yes. No. I think the reason why it's gone on as long as it has is because there's no distraction to get people out of the street. People aren't working right now, right? There's nothing on fucking TV. There's no athletic events going on right now. As soon as you start that shit back up, people are gonna start caring less and less and being more distracted by what's happening on fucking television as opposed to what's happening in real life.
Well, see, I think this is one of the first times in history that that's the actual opposite of what's happening. Just for the simple fact, like the Will and Jada thing is happening or was happening. There's other little stuff that's happening in the news, but I have yet to see a stop in BLM, Breonna Taylor, those things being put on the news, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like for whatever reason now, people are able to focus on more than one thing at a time. Sports is a big one though. So, if they fight, I don't think it would be a bad thing for them to come out, had a little exhibition fight, give us something else to watch.
Bad. No,
I think it would be great if they came out and at the beginning of the fight said something about these issues that are coming up, or be like, we're fighting, y'all don't forget, about the BLM movement and those sorts of things. I think that would be absolutely beautiful because by the time they fight, we'll be even further away from the incidents that have already happened.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do that, but I don't think that at this point to me it's unprecedented, and right now nothing is going to make people stop remembering what's happening.
I don't think so, man. I think we are so because what was it? It was right after George Floyd. People got mad that the news cycle switched, and then it went from being George Floyd to being it went from being from the coronavirus to George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, what happened to Corona? What happened to Corona? What happened to Corona? Now Corona's back. And that George Floyd is still going on. People still protesting. But I continuously hear people say, man, I can't wait till we get sports back so I can have a distraction from all this other shit going on. Just take a fucking year.
Well, people are just bored. But we're so used to having a gang of distractions. Like, if you think about it, Corona made me slow down. It made me realize how much stuff does distract me from getting shit done. Mm-hmm. I got so many projects around my house done when this Corona shit started. And I'm not saying that to say Corona's a good thing at all. Please don't misunderstand my words. What I mean is it made me stop wasting money going out to buy stupid shit. It made me eat at home more. It made me realize I have the things that I need at home and don't need to go out and buy more of it. It made me appreciate toilet paper. It made me appreciate a lot of shit that, no pun intended on the shit, that I really held value in before this. I do miss my amusement parks and shit like that. But I remember at one point, my family was at Universal Studios every weekend for a summer. Yes, my kids are fucking spoiled. I have no problem giving that to them. But now that we're just home, I appreciate the shit that we can do at home a whole hell of a lot more.
Right.
In saying that, Black Lives Matter, the Breonna Taylor case, the Ahmaud Arbery case, the various cases around the country, without us having Universal to fall back on, without us having, let's just go get some ice cream, even though we got ice cream in the freezer to fall back to, those things are heavier on all of us now. Mm-hmm. I don't think one fight will distract from that.
I don't mean to fight. I mean, the fight is just a fight. A fight is a night. But a season is a season. I need basketball to resume right now. I got to get these playoffs. I mean, I guess I'm a sports fan. I'm a sports fan, but I just after everything is going on right now, I couldn't fucking care less about watching niggas play basketball right now.
Yeah. It's too much.
I love baseball. I'm a baseball player. I don't give a fuck about these 60 games they're gonna play. I don't care. There's other shit to do right now. There's other shit that requires my attention.
Yeah.
I just fucking could not care less about this fucking these niggas playing in Orlando in a bubble and fucking, oh, they got a bubble and they can't. I don't care about that shit.
They tried to
rich
make
ass
this,
niggas.
they're rich as fuck. Like, to be like, oh, you know how much it's costing us to get this season done? I know how much you're making. Don't tell me how much it costs y'all to make some people stay in a resort. Like, really? Like, you're talking to me. and I know
right.
I know I just said that we was a Universal all the time. I'm nowhere near rich. They're rich. No. Let me back up. They're wealthy. If they want to be, they can be wealthy, and we're making them stay at a resort, and they can't go anywhere.
At Disney, oh,
they can't leave. Oh my god!
Look at what food they're serving us. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, shout out to the basketball players that can't leave the pool area. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, really? You got me fucked up.
Speaking of distractions, did you watch the DMX Snoop shit?
No, I didn't. I'm gonna go back and watch it, but I mean, I heard that it was the best one that they've done.
I do not believe that.
No?
Don't let them fucking lie to you, okay?
Was it a celebration of two artists, like when Erykah Badu and Jill Scott did it? It was a versus for the men. If you have a penis, you have to fight.
Stab. So I didn't watch it, but I went to IG, right? Looked at IG and saw some of the the cuts from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, these two motherfuckers look crazy.
Somebody told me DMX was fat now.
DMX got a book bag on the front, my nigga. He got a JanSport right up in the front.
Fucking whiz pack on his front.
And then I mean, Snoop is dancing the whole time, high, probably drunk a little bit too. I'm listening to DMX rap his shit. And I'm watching him like he was rapping 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's up there kind of like just kicking it, right? With the microphone, dancing and shit. And he's like the last verse on the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the last
he played
verse
the whole
on the song.
Did he play the whole song?
Played the whole song.
Oh, see, that's weird. That's weird. I thought when you do the verses, like you play a piece of it or your piece of it. If you're at the end of the song, you play the whole thing. That's weird.
I'm so over these verses shits, dog. I'm over it, man. I don't give a fuck about these things. I don't care about these cats playing this music back and forth. The best. People are saying that the best one was the DMX Snoop theme. To me, the best one was Teddy Riley and Babyface. That was the best one.
Yeah, it just depends on what music you like care more about.
It was the pure comedy about that whole shit. That was.
I had fun with the Luda Nelly one, but I was a big Luda fan when he first was popping. Like,
yeah,
he was like one of the best. I don't know. I like my lyricist goofy, I guess, because like Luda, Fonte gets into his goofy bag on some of his shit, even though he's spitting a lot of real talk, and he's my favorite MC. Period. So, but when he came out, I was like, this nigga is crazy, and I knew he was liable to say anything on an album. Most of those sketches on people's records don't age well, and I can still go back and laugh at the sketches on Luda albums.
Bruh.
So
he made that shit for Austin Powers movie. I'm like, this cat wilding.
He's wilding. Like, I don't know who's doing it, but his writers are gold.
His writers gold.
I just wasn't home when the battle happened between Snoop and DMX.
I just didn't care.
I'm gonna go back and watch it just because that era of music was amazing. You know what I'm saying? But like I heard it was the most fun. Like they're starting to figure out this battle thing. I think it's owned by like Swiss Beats that does it and puts it on. And I heard they
always come on and either they always come on afterwards, and if it's fucked up, they try to make an excuse of why it was fucked up. And if it was great, they're like, oh yeah, we gotta keep doing these, man. I don't know, man. I don't want to say nothing.
Since there's no it's very sporadic that new music is coming out right now. Unless you're like really like looking for new releases from the artists that are big, that this is like the new sport. Like this is the music version of sports, like you said, this versus
make it
thing.
Good.
They are making it good. People are tuning in.
I ain't nothing else to do.
I'd venture to say that their numbers were up there in the like 500,000 range.
If like the other ones open outside, nobody's watching that.
That's true.
Like nobody's watching old ass Snoop and old ass DMX go back and forth. Snoop is crip walking all over the fucking stage.
It's a good look for both of them though, because a lot of the younger cats might not know the deep catalog that both of them have. DMX's streams are gonna go up this week, 100%. I miss old X music. You know? But I mean, we
No,
in that
no,
demographic to appreciate it. Like, but the
no,
younger
I
cats
like
is watching these verses probably wouldn't have known that DMX. Snoop still has current shit out, so it's gonna be a
yeah.
different look. But I don't want to stay on them too long. While we're in the realm of like different types of sports, we're talking about this versus thing. The Redskins done landed on a new name, dog.
Yeah, I haven't pay attention to them, the Washington people.
So do you know
What's
what
up?
their new name is?
No, I don't. No.
Because this, okay, well, this is gonna be a treat for you because I guarantee this was the shortest fucking meeting in existence to figure some shit out. The Washington Redskins, the artist formerly known as the Washington Redskins,
Okay.
will
Okay.
now be. What's the timestamp so I can put a drum roll in? God damn it! The Washington
Okay.
football team. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up, dog. The Washington Redskins are right now the Washington football team. Bro,
Why would they do that?
dog, how long was this meeting? Somebody give me the time on how long this meeting was.
2.5 minutes. Enough to eat a finger sandwich, hear the information, and then get out of there.
Little sandwich with a toothpick
Washington
in it.
the Washington football team. And again, I don't know why they're calling it the Washington football team. It should be called the Maryland football team because they play in motherfucking Maryland.
The Washington Marylands probably didn't have a good ring to it. Dog, when I read this article, I had to look and I was like, this has to be fake. This has to be The Onion. It has to be Babylon. It cannot possibly be real. They landed on, they can't come up with a decision on what to call them.
The crab cakes.
They could be a crab. No, because you imagine how fried they'd be every time they lost.
People are calling them the Deadskins.
The Deadskins.
Call them the Deadskins.
Anything, bro. Anything. They're calling them the Washington football team. The lunacy of that speaks for itself. Bro. Like, I don't know, man. I would love to have been how does that meeting go? Like,
call
hey guys,
TBA. Just put that shit there. TBA.
Go Tebas. Go Tebas.
That shit gonna stick like a motherfucker too.
The Tebas.
The Tebas. Come on,
on the side of the helmet just had that emoji with the guy being like,
soda
I don't know. But we're here. We're playing football and shit.
Oh,
just the shoulder shrug, dude.
I saw a meme today that it said something like it was a picture of Scottie Pippen with cornrows. They said they should make that shit the fucking mascot. Put that shit on the side of the helmet.
God.
So
just throw it up there and call it good.
Up there. Like, what are you gonna?
Yeah, man. The Washington football team.
How hard is it to just like you? Okay, here's the thing about it. What's really fucked up about it is that people have been calling for this name change for a really long time, right? And that means the Snyder family hasn't even brought in any fucking consultants, marketing people, or anything in the last 5 years to say, look, if we decide to change the name of this team,
let's just have something in the bank. Let's
brainstorm about what we might do with this, just in case I need something in the tuck.
I don't think they ever thought it would actually happen, honestly. And if they weren't moving, I still don't think it would be happening. Their hand got forced at a time. I'm telling you, man, this Corona thing and BLM happening at this time, if you want to believe in a higher power, it might just be divine intervention that it's all happening in unison to make you pay attention to something bigger. You know, if you want to take that route. If all of this shit wasn't happening the way it is, they would not be having a name change right now.
No.
Race relations and issues are too high for it not to be a part of the conversation. So, yeah, I don't think they ever took seriously that it was a possibility their name would change. Because to me, y'all should already have like a team of people with new logos and names for you to just mull over and figure out how you want to rebrand. That shit never fucking happened. It didn't. It absolutely did. And this proves that it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
They didn't even have a conversation about this shit. Like, oh, okay, well, just in case we got to change it, what do you guys think? You got anything? Anybody?
Nobody.
You know what? They could say, actually, because like this hat I'm wearing, we were talking about before, the Nationals used to be called the Washington Senators. That's what this hat is for, Washington Senators. You could call them that as like an ode to the throwback baseball team that just won the World Series. Call them the Senators.
Anything.
Easy win.
Even if you called them the Senators while you figured it out. Like, you can go and keep your colors. Nobody's telling you to change anything but the rebrand. People that are diehard fans of that team are going to buy whatever new jersey you put out.
And that's the money grab part too.
It really is. If you think about it, it's a win for them to change, to rebrand. Because now, if you got a favorite player on the Redskins, you're going to go and get that player's jersey regardless of what the team is called.
New jersey, new jackets. Because I guarantee you can't walk back in that new stadium with that old shit on.
No, I think they'll let it fly.
You think so? Do you think you can walk back in there with the Redskins shit on?
Because it's vintage now. You know what I'm saying? It's like...
We'll sell that shit on eBay because you can't come in here with it.
If I go to a Steelers game with my Bettis jersey on, it's cool. Yes, they didn't rebrand, but it's like, oh yeah, I remember them. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my shit.
Bettis' last name being Bettis is not considered racist by people.
The people that are going to the games didn't consider Redskins racist like that.
Because they weren't Reds, they weren't Indians. They were Native Americans. They were black people and white people and Asian people.
What I'm saying is, I've been to a Redskins game, and if you wear a jersey of an opposing team, they fuck with you.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna fuck with you if you have on a Redskins jersey at a Redskins game.
They're not letting you in that place because the name is being changed because people find it racist.
Okay, This is us being prophetic like we normally do. Let's put this out there. Marcus Palmer on this podcast said,
I said it.
That, do you think that they're going to make it a rule that you can't come in there with a Redskins jersey on? Because you heard it here first if this shit is true, y'all. I put 20 on it right now. Like, for real.
I'm with it. Yeah.
All right. You think they'll do that?
If we change the name because it's racist, we can't let you in here wearing that shit because it's racist.
It should. I'm just wondering if they will. So I'm gonna take that. Let's see if that happens.
We can put 20 on it.
I'm down. I'm 100% down because I'm curious to see if they'll do that. I never thought about it that way, but it seems like something they should do.
I mean, I guess I don't know how they would do that this season because they don't have a new name.
Football team. I want to see the logo.
And they haven't sold anything that says the Washington football team on it. So it might be next season. It might be next season where they say you can't come in. Because we'll do it like this. When they move into the new place, that's not this year. That's next year, I believe. When they move into the new place, then we can start it up and see what happens.
That would have been like us calling this the podcast talking show.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what the fuck Washington football team means.
So, same as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like if we had put no thought into this,
two guys talking.
Welcome to the I'ma speak to him ass podcast. Like that's so crazy to me that somebody let that fly and they all raised their hands like I second that motion.
Let me say how. I mean I.
Oh. Oh shit.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Oh man. All right, I know we're approaching our one half. Let's do our little quickies run real quick. Because it's a lot, but it's gonna be old news by the time we get to it. I hear y'all when y'all hit me up talking about stuff you want to hear on the podcast, stuff you want us to talk about, stuff we didn't talk about. Y'all gotta understand there's so much shit that happens, and we're not 100% let's talk all pop culture podcast. Like sometimes we get into the relationship bag, the stuff gets missed. Or me personally, I don't mind talking about shit 2 weeks late because now we have all the information and we're not just making off the cuff, whatever you want to call it. One of the things that has become my mantra this week with how I live my life is no matter what happens in my life, no matter what happens in Marcus's life, no matter how we conduct ourselves, we can always remember that we're taller than Tory Lanez.
Oh, shit.
So life can never be Too bad.
They killing that man over getting out of that chair.
Dog.
Being the same height.
Come on, man. Somebody said, I'd hate to be his height, built like Ariana Grande in the podcast group.
Somebody in jail. He can't if he goes to jail at 5'3", you talking about you a $130? They gonna tear your ass up.
You gonna hate when they cut the chicks tape on.
the cheeks tape, nigga.
Yep. And you the cheeks. 100%, Tory. You might want to calm down. Listen, y'all.
My God.
There's a lot of shit that's funny in this, and there's a lot of shit that's not. I hate that this happened. However, just like I said, if we had spoke about this when it first happened, I would have been completely and like unapologetically bashing Tory Lanez for the shit he did. And I still do. You're a coward if you pull a gun on a female. You're a coward if you have to pull a gun on anybody that doesn't have one.
Yeah.
But as more information has come out, supposedly Meg was beating his ass.
Whooping his ass.
Now, again, like me and Marcus don't know shit. I don't know how big she is, but I know she's a savage.
She's a stallion.
Yeah, classy, bougie, ratchet. So if that report is true, and of course this is still an ongoing thing, but if she was beating his ass at 5'2", he's a little guy. He's a little guy. Oh, here to represent the Lollipop Guild ass nigga. Bruh. Is getting beat the fuck up, and he thinks that his life is in danger. I don't know if that's true. And he pulled a gun on her.
Is Callie a stand your ground state?
Is he ever standing? Little motherfucker. Oh, squat your ground.
That's rough, man. Being a dude at 5'3", that's rough, dog.
I know we always talk about the tall dudes being lame. If you 5'2" and shoot a chick because she beating your ass, you lame too, dog. Like,
that's rough.
Why are you popping off at the mouth at 5'2" and you can't fight? Like, you better. Yeah, you shut the. You could have just shut the fuck up. Whatever you said to Meg and the Kardashians, man, like you messed up. But like, yeah, man, like I said, that information wasn't out. The first stuff that was out was just Tory Lanez shot her, and we don't know what happened at that house. Mm-hmm. So we would have came up here and completely obliterated Tory Lanez. And right now, I'm looking at it like both of y'all might be in the wrong. So we got to see what happened between Meg the Stallion and this pony. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a stallion versus a pony. Like,
I did read something about
stallion versus pony. That's what happened.
A midget horse.
Donkey.
I did read something saying. You're fucking stupid. I did read something that said that the reason why they got into the fight was because.
I'm listening, dog.
They say donkey.
Donkey. Oh, shit.
The reason they got into the fight was because she saw him and Kylie Jenner flirting with each other. And she was drunk. And apparently she has a problem holding her liquor.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that a lot, actually.
Yeah. She had a problem holding her liquor, and then she kind of, got buck on him, started beating him up. But no, man, like that's some hoe shit. If you're a man and you pull a gun, on a woman because you're getting your ass whipped, you gotta take that whooping, man. You just gotta stay
beat up.
You gotta call the police
after the fact.
You gotta call the police, file a report. All right, point her out in the lineup. All right, and then
I'm calling the authorities.
Yeah, I'm sending you away, bitch. Like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. So there's that part. But I know this is a bad thing that happened to Meghan, right? And then she lied about to the cops saying that she had glass. It was glass in her foot.
Yeah.
And she tried to, be, I don't know what you want to call it, not a snitch, I guess. But all I kept thinking about ever since I heard this story was Harlem Nights.
Oh yeah, man! Like that. Oh, now you're going to shoot me in my pinky toe.
My pinky toe. Yeah. I ain't fucking with you now. I'm gonna blow that little crusty cripple.
Dog, like I laugh every time I see that. Like, and shout out to all the goats that's in that movie, man. Like, rest in peace, Charlie Murphy, Robin Harris, man. Robin,
Yeah.
you one of my favorites, bruh. I laugh every time I see that shit. And yes, this made me immediately think of Harlem Nights. Like, were they fighting and he was like, put the goddamn fists away or I'm going to shoot you in your pinky toe. Like,
I'll blow that motherfucker off now. I ain't playing with you.
Hey, he was eye level with her foot.
Yo.
Little ass dude.
He just shot straight.
He just shot straight.
Yeah,
and that's where her foot was, bro.
Right there by her ankle.
Oh man. Yeah, Tory Lanez, you a herb for this, man.
Yeah. And you
Meghan,
going to jail.
If you shot her, regardless of whether she was beating your ass or not, like, you deserve some time. I'm sorry. Like, I can't defend you for doing that just because you get out of a chair and are the same height. I would have made them erase everything in that clip. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look up Tory Lanez same height on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And you'll see a video of him getting up and he's the same height when he finished, man. Rico, put that shit in there.
He jumped in that fucking he jumped out that chair and didn't go and then like, okay, wow, that's weird.
Oh,
he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that is ridiculous. That I remember watching it and I was like, this is a camera trick or somebody photoshopped it. Until I watched it three.
You saw, because I watched it like 3 times and then I watched Sway stand all the way up.
Yes. That's where I knew it was real. Because you know how when you get out of a chair, like, you put your hands on the armrest to get up. Why did he do that, dog? His feet was already dangling. Why are you trying to get higher off the ground?
He just floated away.
Like, Tory, don't do that when you get out of chairs, man. You gonna sprain your ankle.
What's that little nigga? What's it do for Dr. Pepper? Fucking Mr. Sweet. Sweet. It's a sweet one. Oh God. That's a sweet one. Stop. Oh my God.
Shut up.
Sweet. Oh shit.
Oh my God. Oh.
I can't stop doing it. Oh shit.
Oh man.
God damn.
Oh God. Okay.
What's next?
Oh God, I'm crying.
What's next?
Oh man. I'm half tempted to be like, call it, but a lot of this shit gonna be old next week. All right, we gonna get up out of here, but I'm gonna just run through the other little quick shit. I'm gonna leave our bigger, like, whole topics for the next.
All right, cool.
But all right, Meghan Markle and Harry are back in the news.
Hey, my favorite couple.
I know you love them, man. She's still fine. But couple anyway, goals. I hate Harry's penis. They're suing the paparazzi, unnamed paparazzi, for taking pictures of their son Archie in their home.
Okay.
They're saying they understand that they're always going to be scrutinized when they go in the public eye. However, they draw the line at intrusions into their home. So a paparazzi found an angle into their backyard, took a picture of their son, sold it for profit. I'm 100% with them. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit what status you are. You have your right to privacy at home. Hopefully they win that lawsuit. That's all I had on that. But I know a lot of people feel differently about them. I know you don't like them and the shit that they've done, whatever you want to call it.
But you know, people got their privacy. I mean, I'm not a fan of what she did. I'm not a fan of what he did, but that doesn't mean that they don't deserve privacy and some kind of peace, which is why apparently why they moved.
Right.
And now they're not even getting that. I'm sorry, moved fucking twice, Meghan. Anyway,
moved twice.
No, everyone deserves their peace, and no, don't fucking. That's one reason why I don't put my, like, that picture of my son I put up on social the other day. Might be, you know, the 3rd or 4th picture I put up, and none of his pictures have his face in it. Maybe 1 or 2 when he was really young, but no, I mean, I don't think, you know, that's just me. I want my son to kind of be private. I want him to be exposed to social media shit before his time, and That's just me. So I get it. I get why they would be pissed off that someone violated their privacy in that way. I understand completely.
Yeah, that's all I had on that. Like, shout out to the Markles. This is one that I'm
Nah, we ain't
100%
doing
with
that.
you on. No. I'm 100% with him on this one. Like, I
Nah,
don't
no
give a
shout
fuck
outs for me. We ain't
about
shouting
none
y'all
of the
out
shit.
now.
Yeah, Marcus is still like, fuck y'all. But I'm I'm 100% with y'all on this, man. Like,
Yeah.
you don't fuck with people's kids. I know in recent years, I've stopped putting my kids on my page a lot more. And I like spending time with them. A lot of people, love seeing me with my boys. My oldest son, he wants to be a YouTube creator. He's really into the social media thing, and I'm gonna nurture that. But I constantly tell him there's something that comes with that.
Yeah.
Like with people being in your business, they're gonna feel like they're entitled to be there. So you got to find a balance in that. And I'm trying to teach him that now as a young adult, that social media is, I mean, we got to face it. That's their life now. That's kids' lives is socials.
It's different.
So it's different. But it's also some weirdos out there. So, you kind of got to balance that and go back and forth with it. So, yeah, I hope y'all win that lawsuit. Whatever paparazzi took that picture over their fence, you're nasty. You're just disgusting human being. Like, simple as that. I don't care what you're doing. It's just
They
a
all
job
are,
for you.
though. That's just all. I mean, they all do that.
Nah,
shit.
well, if you're a paparazzi and I'm famous and I'm out on Rodeo shopping and you get a picture of me, cool. Do your thing.
Okay.
But if you're that dude that's up in a tree waiting for my wife to undress so that you can sell it, like, I hope they catch you before you get away. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is trifling.
But these motherfuckers are trying to get the shots with Britney Spears with no drawers on. They're trying to get the shots of Kanye West fucking spazzing out. They're trying to get the shots of so-and-so's wedding in the backyard under this fucking circus tent. That's how they make their fucking money. I mean, it's a gross profession, personally.
It is.
But here's the problem I have with that shit. Like, okay, we disagree. I mean, I'm sorry, we agree with the Megans or whoever the fuck they are, the Markles. We agree that they should sue this paparazzi for invading their privacy, getting shots. But a lot of these motherfuckers call the paparazzi, hey,
oh yeah,
we're over here, we're leaving.
They do
and
that.
Then they don't wear the drawers on purpose. They bend over there. It's just all, I mean, a lot of it is for publicity, and these people are trying to stay in the eye of the public.
Well, that happens in everything.
Yeah.
And that just to give like an example of it, how we talk about the Me Too movement and any movement, there's people that are going to take advantage of that same system on the opposite end. As much as I'm with the Me Too movement, ladies have to acknowledge there's women out there that are purposely going to these auditions to suck a dick to get the role. So until y'all get them on board, there's always going to be a hole in your process. So yes, Kanye has even said you have I think he's been known to call the paparazzi on himself so that they can catch him coming out of a place to get a picture to keep him in the news. I don't believe that this is one of those times. I don't think that Harry and Meghan want the paparazzi looking at their son playing in the backyard. That's trifling.
Yeah.
That's always going to be trifling. So it's I don't know, it's two different things. What else did I have on the list that I was like, yeah, we're going to talk about that shit. Talked about that. Leave that. I think I'm good, actually. Did you have anything else?
I got something else. We'll save it for another time, though. We're going to talk about, we'll talk about why y'all ladies out there, or why y'all single ladies out there, be out there calling y'all sons kings.
Oh, we'll open with that next week.
Wait, why y'all calling y'all sons kings? Because y'all ain't got no man? Is that what?
Ooh, you gonna make somebody mad.
Wouldn't they be a prince? Aren't you in charge? Or is the I don't know.
Akeem, I forbid you.
I've never understood that. Why?
I
don't know.
Oh man, yep. Yeah, we gonna open with that.
Why they grew up to be fucking assholes? Because you been calling them goddamn king all day. Never mind, we'll get into it.
And then they walking in the club like Xerxes and shit with rings in their nose and cheek.
I'm a generous god.
And get an ugly dude some play, right? Nah, that's not happening. Hey man, thank y'all once again for listening to the Illegal Opinions podcast, man.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe on the YouTubes, the Spotifys, whatever you're on, follow it, man, so that we can build these numbers. Y'all want us
All
to
of
keep
them.
building. We want to build with y'all, man. Like, thank
All of
y'all.
them.
Thank you. Thank you. I just can't say enough. The people that engage, put on their Facebooks and Instagrams that they listen to the pod. Some of y'all have made this shit a part of your weekly routine. And, you know, we're here every Sunday, every single Sunday, like clockwork. Y'all gonna hear from us, man. I'm Sam Ridley. It's Marcus Palmer, man. I'm gonna let him take us out.
All right, again, thank you guys for listening to Illegal Opinions, the podcast for people that don't really like podcasts. That's us. We'll see you guys next time, all right? Be safe. Show love. Peace.
Peace.